Week 9 recap,
I
right?
know the season's moving.
We are just flying through it, bro. It feels like we just started recording videos and just feels like the season just started, bro. It feels like it just started, but
It does.
here we are.
It does.
Here we are halfway through the season, and our recording boys are still here. We're still at it. We're still making our picks, and it's the young Rottweiler, Ethan Hamilton. I'm 007 Gage Sutton. Thank you guys so much for tuning in for another NFL Picks Week 9 edition. And, we got a lot to recap. There were a lot of upsets, and I think our picks reflect that, definitely. So I say let's get right into it, before you guys enjoy this content and stuff, make sure that you guys are hitting the subscribe button, hitting the like button, following us on all of our socials. It's going to be linked all down below. I'm just excited because we've got a lot of good games to talk about from week 9. And unfortunately, a really bad game for my team, the Green Bay Packers.
Yep.
And
Talk about it.
No, I kind of just want to get your take on it too, because for me, this is a very concerning loss for the Packers. Not only do you lose Tucker Kraft in this game for the season, which I think automatically takes a blow at the Packers Super Bowl chances. He is one of those players that you need on your roster to make a deep run. But I'm just worried about the inconsistency on the offense right now. Against the Panthers defense that had been struggling, not really one of the best units in football. What's crazy is that I don't even think the offense played horrible, but once they got into the red zone, they were just non-existent. They couldn't score. Turnovers, field goals, they were missing, getting blocked. Like, it's just been a really, really bad mesh of the season for the Packers. Like, one game, the offense will be playing really well, but the defense gives up 40 to the Cowboys. And then another week, the defense holds Carolina to 13, but the offense is lackluster and they can't finish drives. And that's really what's concerning about this Packers team. And I don't know if it's a coaching issue, if they need to change up what they're doing on first down, on just the way that they're approaching the game offensively, running the ball so much. I really don't know. And I think I kind of want to get someone who's not a Packers fan take on
at all.
You hate the Packers, if anything. But hey, you see the team, you're watching the games, and I want to know what you're seeing. Do you see what I'm seeing with this team?
I think you put it in a good position. Inconsistency. Like, one week, the defense is playing lights out, and the offense is so efficient. The next week, the defense is giving up 40 points to the Cowboys, like you said. But this week, the defense stood 10 toes down against this Panthers offense, except for, stopping the run. Rico Dowdle is having an amazing stretch of games.
Hey,
really burning his paycheck.
How did he get fined for that, bro? He got fined for
I still don't know. He followed the rules. Ain't it the Campy sketch? Didn't he follow the rules?
Hey,
and it almost cost him too. But it didn't, I know Bryce Young had a really, really big throw to Tedero McMillan in the fourth quarter. Like, it's not like the Panthers went crazy. Like, the Packers defense did its job. It's just the offense, man. And I think that's really what's stopping me from, like, early in the season. I had the Packers as the favorites coming out the NFC, and I'm really wanting to walk that back because the offense is just so inconsistent, man. For how much you and other Packers fans love Jordan Love and that offense, and how much I raved about getting a guy like Matthew Golden in the draft, adding another weapon who could be at wide receiver 1. I haven't seen that. I haven't seen that from Golden in comparison to the rest of the wide receivers that the Packers. He might end up being the best one of the bunch. But so far this rookie season, he has not shown that. I think losing Tucker Kraft hurts them a lot going forward. He was their best receiving threat, no doubt, this season. And to see lose him how they lost him kind of sucks because he's been hooping. But just Jordan Love, man, like, he just had to move me. Like, point blank, period. I think Packers fans are kind of all, you correct me if I'm wrong, I think y'all are all kind of waiting for him to take that leap and to moving into elite quarterback tier. And he's just, like, has not made that leap. He just really had. Like, he's top 10, but, like, end of top 10 best case scenario looking in. Like he just hasn't been that great. Like he really hasn't for me this season.
No, I'm with you. And I think the thing with Jordan is consistency too. I think we're looking just for consistency in all aspects of the game, in the coaching, the play calling, and in Jordan's game. Because I mean, we could go back and say last week against Pittsburgh, Jordan Love had his best game as a starter. He was hooping against Pittsburgh. He threw some amazing passes, was just reading the defense really well, and made the Pittsburgh defense look horrible. Meanwhile, they come back next week and beat the Indianapolis Colts. So we'll talk about the Steelers later.
Yeah.
Jordan Love in this game wasn't that bad. He was 26 of 37, 273 yards. But the problem is drives stalled in the red zone and not getting those scores when you need them. And ultimately playing down to competition. This is a game that they should have won very easily. And I know a lot of fans will say trap game. Yes. But these are the teams that truly elite teams and truly great teams and truly great quarterbacks, they take care of these games. They take care of these
wins. Put them away.
They put them away. So I think that's what I want to see from Jordan is just more poise. It's okay to, have a rough game, but when the going gets tough, dude, and you're in the fourth quarter, we need you to play your best football. If you are one of the best quarterbacks in the league, which we have seen the flashes, it has to be consistent. It has to be at a level that you're not losing to the Panthers. So I don't know. That's just the way I see it for Green Bay. I think luckily they've still got the rest of the season to figure things out, and maybe the injuries and this loss will force this team to look inside themselves and say, what do we need to change in order to really take that next step offensively? Because the defense, for all of their problems in the secondary, I think they're still holding up and are a very good unit. So I think that's all I have to say about the Packers. I do want to talk about another NFC North team too, who surprised a lot of people, I think, with a big win this week. That's the Minnesota Vikings beating the Detroit Lions. JJ McCarthy coming back into the lineup and playing very well.
I think very well is a stretch. I think he played solid.
Comparison to what they were playing with in Carson Wentz, I'll give him a huge bump. Like I would much rather have had JJ McCarthy the last couple of weeks because you just see like
what they had, yeah.
Because I mean, like he may not be the greatest quarterback, but he's enough. You just need someone to get Jay Jettas the ball. You just need someone to get Jordan Addison the ball. Shout out Jalen Naylor too. He had some crazy catches on Sunday.
Absolutely.
But Vikings just a super impressive win here too, because the defense hadn't been looking that great the last couple of weeks, but stepped up a lot in Detroit here and just made Jared Goff and that whole offense just look very uncomfortable the whole time, showing lots of blitz looks. And Minnesota is a very, very good team, and when they're playing like this on both sides of the ball. So the NFC North, that's a very tough division right now.
I'm with you. I feel like J.J. McCarthy just enough, and he was able to extend plays with his feet. And he was able to get that rushing touchdown. It's a good win for him. Hopefully this turns the tide for him and Vikings fans going forward into the second half of the year. Because, I mean, you sitting at 4-4, you're really only a game back from the Packers and the Lions. And for how great we think the Lions are this season, how great we thought the Packers are going to be, these two teams, their record really hasn't shown it. So the Vikings are definitely within striking distance if they can get hot and win these divisional games coming up, which we'll talk about later.
Yep. Chicago right on the tail too at 5-3. They got an impressive win. Well, I don't know if I'd say impressive. They almost collapsed against the Bengals.
Yeah, but Bengals ended up having the collapse of the weekend. And I wanted to get your take on like how Chase Brown and the I think it was Jamar Chase too, how they handled the questions about the defense. I think Chase, I'm gonna give you how I feel. I think Chase handled it how he should have. On some like, I'm gonna stay in my lane. Like obviously I'm not happy, but like I'm gonna stay in my lane and keep my thoughts to myself. You know, we're all a team and we lose together and we win together as one. I think that's what he should have said. And I think he shouldn't have taken Like, I understand Chase Brown's point of view. Like, we all get paid to do a job, and y'all were shitty at your job. With how many seconds left, y'all couldn't make any tackles.
Yeah.
That's all we needed was one more tackle. Probably would have won that game after we went down the field. And y'all let them score 40 points the entire game. But it's one of those things you can't say in public. You can't say in public.
Yeah, it's a tough situation, dude, because like you definitely shouldn't say anything, but I think in a position where you're at with the Bengals of like a lot of those players on that team we're expecting to win this year. We're expecting to I don't know why. I mean, you should have looked at the roster and said, dude, this defense is not going to hold up. This defense might not even be a top 25 unit. But I think it's just truly that, bro. It's frustration from all sides. The defense had a players only meeting a couple weeks ago. Nothing's changed. They're still getting 40 dropped on their head every week. It's just not a good situation over there, man. So I understand the frustration, but it's very tough, dude, to hold back those emotions, but you have to for the sake of the team. Because now with those things coming out of the locker room, I think the Bengals season is cooked, dude. There's just like nothing that you can really do. No one's on the same page. Like,
and this might be the end of Zach Taylor's run too, because like losing that game against the Jets, like the week before, and then now losing this games that they were must-haves, especially if you wanted to make a late season playoff push with Joe Burrow maybe coming back. I think it's just a waste, to be completely honest.
Dude, it's a dead season. And at this point, it's like, why wouldn't you just start Joe Flacco the rest of the year, get the draft pick, and just try again next year, man? And they really just need they need to change that whole defense up. And trading Trey Hendrickson earlier in the offseason would have been probably ideal. Even though like they have no pass rush, they just need assets now, dude. They just don't have anything either. So,
and now I think Loki, they're regretting not moving him at the deadline, especially the way that some of these the team that we're going to talk about later, the Jets, which I thought they were amazing winners of the trade deadline. I think they're going to regret not moving him. And just a quick side note before we get into our trade deadline reaction so far. Of course, the week we gas up the Colts, they go and shit the bed against the Steelers.
I know.
They have what, 6 turnovers? 4 turnovers or something like that?
6 turnovers in that game. I think they had 4 turnovers all season.
And double that game. God, it was just like everyone had that itch. Everyone had that itch on that team. And they still only lost by 7. And you just think like, hey, maybe if a couple of them turnovers they didn't lose track of, they probably win that game. Because the Steelers didn't play particularly great. Defensively, they played great. I mean, 6 turnovers. You can never get mad at that.
Yeah, I mean, shout out to Pittsburgh defense, because we were shitting on them last week, saying like, man, this is not one of the Pittsburgh units that we've come to expect. They're bottom of the league, and they come out this week against one of the best offensive lines, one of the hottest offenses in football, and dominated. Their pass rush was all over Daniel Jones, did not let him get comfortable, and hey, they did what they need to win. I think that's just kind of what we should have known, dude. These are the kind of games that like Mike Tomlin will pull out, and then we wonder at the end of the season, how the hell did the Steelers go 8-8? Like
it's because it went like this.
And then next week they're gonna lose to who they play in week 10, bro. They're probably gonna lose to like Cleveland this week or something. Like,
yeah. No, I'm right there with you. They got the Sunday night game against the Chargers, so it's like. I'm right there with you. But I mean, credit where credit's due. They shut down Jonathan Taylor for the most part. 14 rushes, 13 rushes, 40-something yards. They shut him down. But and those games right there, I think contributed for me and you having the NFL picks record that we had this week. I finished with a 6-8 record, and you finished with 7-7. Easily the worst of our week. That Giants pick bit me in the ass because I would have broken even with you. And really the Chiefs pick too. Like, I love my Chiefs, but I really should have picked the Bills, especially the way the defense has been playing. Mahomes played rough that game too.
Yeah.
It wasn't a good week for both of us.
Yeah, it was rough. I picked Houston over Denver, which looked good until CJ Stroud got concussed and left the game. Even then, there was still a chance, but Denver pulls off
I'm
that
right there with you.
fourth quarter heroic. And then I think the only other game that I missed was we both picked Dallas over Arizona too. So that was kind of bad in hindsight. That's a bad loss for the Cowboys too. Definitely a very bad loss. But we have to talk about what they did in the trade deadline, because the Cowboys, after that horrible loss to the Arizona Cardinals, Jerry Jones comes out and says, y'all just wait. Y'all wait for the trade deadline. We'll be making some moves. And hey, we started off.
He promised
moves.
He promised and he delivered.
Will it be enough to help this team? We will see. But before we move on to this trade deadline conversation and all that stuff, we're gonna post our records right now. Again, 7-7 this week for me, 6-8 for E, and we're hoping to go into.
Oh yeah, 64 and 42. I'm sitting at. You're sitting at 70 and 36.
There you go. Yeah, the totals are up on the screen still. But these are our picks that we've accumulated throughout the season, and you can keep up with us. We are about to make our Week 10 picks. Hopefully, they go a lot better than our Week 9 picks. So, but all right, before we make our picks for Week 10, though, we do have to talk about the trade deadline. And let's start with the team I just mentioned, the Dallas Cowboys. They made some big moves, and they started by trading for Logan Wilson from the Cincinnati Bengals, who
seventh round pick you gave it.
Yeah, for a 7th round pick, and he was a guy that I think a lot of people thought was going to be on the move. He wasn't being played in Cincy, and we don't know why. Because he's a very good player, and I think Dallas just needs all of the defensive help they can get. I think this is a good move for them. 7th round pick is very disposable, and you get a guy who could come and help you immediately. And especially with Washington and Jaden Daniels breaking his arm, that kind of opens Dallas up to maybe win some games in that division. And I'm not going to say catch up with Philly, but
a wild card, I think, is the best shot for them. Yeah, I'm with you. I think Logan Wilson was on a team. I know a lot of people think Logan Wilson was a guy bench on a team with only defense maybe as terrible as the Cowboys and the Bengals. And I think this is a bad move. But I think people got to consider the Cowboys linebacking group outside of DeMarvion and Overshawn is really, really bad. Really, really bad. And Logan Wilson just wasn't fitting in with the Bengals at this point in his career, right? And I think if you consider the fact that a 7th round pick is very disposable, not a lot of 7th round picks are making impacts in the NFL, if not any. So if you can get rid of that for a guy for what is a 6-7 game rental, and more than likely they'll probably re-sign him to a vet minimum next year, I think it's a solid move. It's not like earth-shattering. I think the earth-shattering move was the one that Jerry made a few hours later, getting a guy in Quentin Williams for the New York Jets for a 1st round pick, a 2nd round pick, and Mozzie Smith. Honestly, I love this move for the Cowboys. The Cowboys trade for a premier pass rusher, not just a pass rusher, but a premier defensive tackle. Someone I consider one of the 3 or 4 best defensive tackles in football.
In his prime, too.
In his prime, 28 years old, still got a lot of years left. And I know you're thinking, well, didn't they just trade for Frank Clark? You're absolutely right. And they just paid Osa Digizua. You're absolutely right. And I'm going to get to that in a moment. But I think overall, the haul that they gave up, Cowboys don't do nothing with 2nd round picks in general. So I don't think that's going to be too big of a miss.
The first is next year. So they're expecting to be good too.
No. It's 2027's 1st round.
Yeah. 20. That's what I'm saying is next year, 2027. They're expecting to be good.
It's the Cowboys' 1st round pick.
Yeah.
And you give up a 2nd round pick this year. And when you have the Packers' 1st round pick and your 1st round pick this year, presumably going to be late in the Cowboys will probably be in the middle of the teens. Packers will probably be early 20s, maybe late 20s. I think you're like, all right, you give up that 2nd round pick. And Mozzie Smith has been a complete bust for them. So I don't think you're gonna miss that pick quite at all. I think this pick allows Frank Clark to go play 3 tech, like how he normally was playing with the Packers. I think you slot Quentin Williams right at 1 tech, and the Cowboys got the defensive line shored up for the future. I think this offseason, though, considering how poor Osa Odighizuwa has played this year, you're going to have a decision to make. Do you cut Frank Clark in his 30s, save what, $20 million in cap space, and move Osa back to the 3 tech and hopefully he regains form? I think that's a question that's going to have to be answered. But I think Quentin Williams, on the cheaper contract that he is, I think that's a steal. How do you feel about the trade?
I love Quentin Williams, and I feel pretty good about the trade for both sides. I don't think the Cowboys overpaid, but I think the Jets were compensated fairly too. Like they need to move on. They just need to restart and start a new culture there in New York. And as much as it sucks to give up a player like Quentin Williams, you can't complain about a first round pick, a second round pick, and for as much as Mozzie Smith disappointed in Dallas, he's still a young player and there's potential there. So, you just take a dart shot there or, a dart throw there and have that idea of rebuilding with picks in mind. I like it for the Jets, but for the Cowboys, man, just so much defensive line help that is on the way with Quentin Williams. He on his own is going to make a huge impact. I don't know if it's going to be enough to completely turn this defense around, but he will definitely help in the run game. He will help in creating just a little bit more pressure in the pocket, and I'm excited about what Quentin Williams will do in a Cowboys uniform. As much as I hate the Cowboys, I like Quentin Williams, man. So this is a cool move.
And I think the best part about the move for the Cowboys is that it's going to help. Like you said, he's going to take a lot of attention on him. It's going to help guys like Jadeveon Clowney. It's going to help guys like Donovan Ezraku, who has been coming along the past few couple of weeks and it has been one of the better edge rushers in this rookie class. I think outside of Abdul Carter, I think he's probably been the best edge rusher out of this class. And I think this move right here is going to lead to more one-on-ones for him and Clowney, as well as free up the linebackers. It's going to allow Logan Wilson, Shamar James, and DeMarvion Overshown, who is supposed to be coming back after the bye week, to help get a lot more free rushes to the running backs, to the quarterbacks. I think this would overall help the front seven a lot. But I think now, if you're Dallas, you're thinking, okay, the front seven, yes, we definitely going to need more linebacking help. But as far as the rest of the season, it's set, and I think it will be an above-average unit if Overshown comes back to form. I think this will be an above-average unit. I think now you're looking towards the draft like, all right, now we know defensively we absolutely have to fix this secondary.
Yeah.
And so if I'm the Cowboys, I think that's what the pressure is going to be on the rest of this season, is like, how much can the secondary hold up? But for the Jets, they made another move too, and which I think they got a haul for Sauce Gardner. And I think they absolutely won that trade. Given trading Sauce Gardner, what was it, 2 firsts?
This is for 2
first or the second? 2 first-round picks.
Adonai Mitchell.
And Adonai Mitchell to the Indianapolis Colts. And the Colts go all in on a premier cornerback in Sauce Gardner. And it looks like they're going all in this year with Daniel Jones and that defense. And from the Jets' point of view, I love it, right? Don't get me wrong. Sauce was probably one of the 2 best players on the team alongside Quentin Williams. But the Jets weren't winning anything. And they're not going to be winning anything for at the very least the next 2 to 3 years. And the lifetime of premier cornerbacks is so short. If you're able to get 2 first-round picks and a project wide receiver, you take that. You take that. Because the Jets secondary hasn't been bad this year. And Sauce Gardner has been in and out of the lineup. So if I'm them, I'm like, you know what? Let's go all in, get rid of Sauce. He's been great for us, but we're not going to be able to do nothing with him. And we don't know if it's going to be a situation like how Dallas was with Diggs, where you pay him all this money and he's been nothing but garbaggio for a few years because of injury and because of all this other things. The team just not being ready to be able to play with them and them not being ready to play. So I think you're looking at Sauce, who I think has performed better than a guy like Diggs. You're just like, you know what? Cool. Let's sell him while he were high. Aaron Glenn, we're going to give you the keys to this rebuild. You have 3 years to go find a quarterback, basically. Yeah, you have 3 years to go find a quarterback and rebuild this defensive roster. Just a field experiment failed. And I know a lot of people are thinking, well, why, if you're rebuilding, why not get rid of Breece Hall and Garrett Wilson? You can't get rid of everybody. And if you hit on a rookie quarterback in the next year or 2, you're going to want to have a run game and you're going to want to have a wide receiver with him. Fair enough. I get completely deciding on flipping on Quentin Williams and Sauce Gardner instead of the other 2, even though objectively Quentin Williams and Sauce Gardner are better pair than Breece Hall and Garrett Wilson. I'm with you. I think it's a smart move. I think it was a masterclass in how you do the trade deadline by the Jets.
Yeah, I mean, I like the move for the Colts too. I mean, I definitely give props to the Jets for getting those picks and kind of moving on from that era of the Jets. But if you look at what the Colts are doing, I really like it, man. They saw that they needed a more stable option at corner. Xavier Howard was just getting cooked, and they just don't have a lot of options there. But the rest of their unit is so great. So, who's the best corner that you can trade for at this point? I guess it's Sauce Gardner, and he may not be, the most elite corner in the league right now, but I think he is better than anything the Colts have on their roster right now, and he's going to be a game changer, man. And for me, I think the Colts, like you said, this is a push to win a Super Bowl in the next 2 years, because they gave up their first this year and their first next year for Sauce. And I mean, you give up also on Adonai Mitchell. I don't think that's as big a deal as people are going to, make it, because the Colts have so many weapons. It was even hard to get Adonai Mitchell on the field with all of the weapons that they are already using. So,
and I don't know, better too.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think, dude, with the Tyler Warren pickup, Jonathan Taylor, you've got all three of the wide receivers and Pittman, Pierce, and Downs already. I think it just kind of makes those things expendable and allows you to just take a huge swing at it and say, hey, we're going to add one of the best corners in football on our team, and we're going to see where it goes. We have to win a Super Bowl in the next 2 years is the way I'm looking at it. And we'll see if they can do it with Daniel Jones. I still have my hesitations, especially seeing them lose to a team like Pittsburgh. Just makes me wonder what's going to happen to them, against a team like Kansas City or Buffalo in the playoffs. Sauce Gardner will definitely help, though. So hopefully he can stay healthy and make an impact and do what he is being brought to Indianapolis to do.
100%. 100%. Well, that's our NFL trade deadline reaction, especially the big ones with the Jets. I know the Seattle Seahawks made a move for Rashid Shaheed, which I thought was really, really good. Really didn't have to give up much. And as another option to Sam Darnold, who has been hooping this year, it's alongside Jackson Smith and Jigba, who alongside Jonathan Taylor is one of the favorites for Offensive Player of the Year. But let's switch on ahead to our NFL Week 10 prediction. Let's start off with some Thursday Night Football and Raiders versus Broncos. Hey, man, the Broncos coming off a big win. The Raiders coming off a gut-wrenching loss where they went to go for 2 against the Jags and had a knockdown at the line of scrimmage. Man, the Raiders are just so rough this year, man. And the Broncos keep sneaking out these wins.
Yeah. Can I just say I respect the Raiders for going for 2 and not taking that game to a tie.
I'm 100%. I respect it so much. Saved everybody some time with a tie. Like, come on, go for 2 or just, or don't go for it at all. Don't even go for the touchdown. I respect it 1,000%. I respect it 1,000%. But this today, bro, I don't got a deep analysis too much for this game. I think the Broncos are going to handle business at home. I think defensively they match up really, really well with the Raiders. Even though Brock Bowers might have something to say about it, he is back and he was hooping last week. I'm still going to go with the Broncos, man. I think just defensively, and the Raiders are rough, and I think they'll have too much for them.
Oh, man. So I was leaning towards the idea of it's Thursday Night Football. It's a division game. This just feels like a game that the Raiders win somehow, right? But then I looked at my record from last week and I said, I cannot afford to take a risk like that. Give me
at all. I'm right there with you. Let's check out some of the other games. Let's go on to the 8:30 game. We got the Falcons at the Colts. The Falcons narrowly lost to the Patriots,
London, right?
in London. Yep. In which they they play the Colts. This one is not really going to have too much of a home field advantage. The Colts are on a 2-game skid. They are on a 2-game skid, losing to the Steelers as well as losing to the who did they lose the week before?
Oh, they're in Berlin.
Or did
actually.
they win it? Are they in Germany? Pardon us,
Yeah,
pardon us.
but the Falcons lost to the Patriots this last week, and then they lost. Who did they lose to the week before? Was it the Jets? No, I'm
It
tripping.
might have
Hold
been
on.
the Jets. I know the Colts.
The
Well, they
Dolphins. They
haven't
lost.
lost recently. Yeah, the Colts have been the Dolphins. You're absolutely right. They got against the Dolphins. You're right. Blown out, really. The Colts, like I said, coming off a rough loss against the Steelers. I don't see them having 6 turnovers in this game, to be quite honest. I'm going to go with the Colts.
Yeah, this is a weird one. I don't want to pick against the Colts again. I think like last week, Pittsburgh just kind of played a really good game. The Falcons are just so inconsistent too. Like last week against the Patriots, if it weren't for that extra point, that missed extra point, they go to OT with the Patriots, and the way that offense was running towards the end of the game might have won. So this is tough. I think I'll take the Colts here. I don't feel great about it, especially an international game and the way they lost last week, but I'll take the Colts.
I'm with you. Next up, we got the game of the week. Browns against Jets, and I'm just playing. They're playing in New York. Jets after the fire sale on defense. This one's a tough one for me, only because these are, I think, 2 of the 3 worst teams in football, if not the 2 worst teams in football. I think defensively, the Browns are still really good. It's just who's at that quarterback position, man. And Dylan Gable's probably going to get the start. I don't see Shedeur starting no time soon. The Jets defensively, they're going to be rough without their 2 best players being traded. But I think at home, I think Justin Fields having the comeback win last week. I'm going to go Jets. I know this game is going to bite me in the ass. I know it. But I'm going to take a risk and go Jets.
Yeah, I'm going to go opposite here. I think this is my opportunity to get an easy point on you. I'm going to take the Cleveland Browns. That defense is so stacked, and it literally, if they had any semblance of an offense, this would be one of the scariest teams in football. But they're the Cleveland Browns, so yeah. I also think Quinshon Judkins is a stud too. They just handed him the ball.
He is a stud.
I think he'll do enough to win them this football game against the Jets. But what's the next one, Ian?
Fair enough. Next one up, we got Patriots at Buccaneers, or another afternoon game. Patriots coming off a close win against the Falcons, in which they probably should have won that game, right? Don't get me wrong. Some Drake May heroics at the end did it, but I think playing in Tampa Bay this week, Tampa's one of the better teams in the NFC. They're sitting at 6-2 as well.
Coming off
I'm
a
gonna
bye,
go to Bucks at home. Coming off a bye, well rested. I'm gonna go Bucks this week. I think it's probably one of the tougher matchups that the Patriots have this year.
For sure.
This year and of recent.
Yeah, and I'm looking at the injury report right now. It really is going to come down to a lot of these injuries because the Bucks right now have Chris Godwin, Bucky Irving, Hassan Reddick, and Watts as questionable players, and the Patriots have Christian Gonzalez, Caden Ellis, Kayshon Boutte, Ramondre Stevenson, all questionable as well. So I think these are all players that could flip the tide of the game, especially for the Bucks if Baker has Godwin and Irving out there. I really like the Bucks. So yeah, you know what? I'll take Tampa Bay here too. As much as it hurts me, I do love what New England is doing right now, but I'm a big Baker guy, and I think the Bucks are sneakily one of the Super Bowl favorites in the NFC.
Okay. Yeah. Next up, we got the Ravens at the Vikings. The Ravens coming off a big win against the Bears, but they gotta go. They have to go to Minnesota and play them after their big win against the Lions. JJ McCarthy's back for them. I don't think Lamar is back yet for the Ravens.
He is.
Oh, he is back this week. So this is his first game back.
I think he played last week, actually.
No, last week Tyler Huntley played.
But they played the Dolphins this week.
Dolphins. I'm tripping. You're right. You're 100% right. Lamar had 4 touchdowns. Derrick Henry went for 120. This game's gonna be a lot closer than people think.
I think so too.
I'm just not really sold yet on JJ McCarthy and that offense. Don't get me wrong. The Ravens have been basura. They have been basura this week, especially defensively. But I'm gonna go Ravens. They're more tried and true and trusted, especially Lamar and Derrick Henry. I just think they're gonna be put up points. I just don't think that Vikings team will be able to put up as much points as will be required.
Yeah, this is a tough matchup. I think I'm gonna go with the Ravens here too. I
Fuck, I
think the
was hoping you
Ravens.
went something different.
No, I think the Ravens really, really need this win, dude. Especially if they want to remain in contention in the AFC. So uh, I do like what the Vikings have been doing, especially now that they're going to be at home. We know how loud it gets in Minnesota, so I wouldn't be surprised to see the Vikings win here. But I'm sticking with my guy Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry taking a win here.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Let's move on to the next game. We've got the Buffalo Bills playing in Miami against the Miami Dolphins. I think both of us are going to agree on the same pick this week. Bills come off a good win against the Chiefs where they beat them again in the regular season. And I think the Chiefs are still up 5-4, if I'm not mistaken, in the Mahomes and Allen era against one another. So that was a big win for them. The Dolphins get blasted by the Ravens last week. I'm going to go Bills.
Yeah, I'm taking Buffalo as well. Not not a lot of analysis
going. Yeah. Next up, we got Giants at Bears. The Giants still trying to recover mentally and the team physically from losing Cam Scatterboo for the year. Didn't do the greatest against the Niners. And I don't think they're going to do the greatest against the Bears at home. Give me the Bears.
See, I'm still not sold on the Bears.
I'm not at all either.
I picked against them last week, and they win against Cincy. I don't know. This is tough because the Giants' defense is like very legit. I love their D line. They can get after quarterbacks, make their life living hell, and I think Caleb is going to struggle in this game. But I'll take the Bears.
Bet that. Next up, we got the Jags against the Texans. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure CJ Stroud will not be playing because he's in concussion protocol, right?
I think they have him listed as questionable. I'll check the injury report on that, but I'm assuming he won't play.
Yeah, and if he was playing, that would help me because I think the Texans got their number, just in general. That defense at home, and last week that Texans defense did not. Jags defense did not play good at all, letting the Raiders throw all over them. Jags took a minute to get going offensively. Travis Hunter's still on IR. I'm going to take a leap and pick the Jags. I think the Jags are going to get a big division win on the road. But then again, this is a game where the Jags will bite me in the ass. So,
yeah, CJ Stroud is out in this game. Man, yeah, the Texans defense is so good that I think the formula for them winning this football game is do what they've been doing the last couple of weeks of just run the piss out of the football, keep the other team's offense off the field. I think I'm going to take the Texans, man. This might come back to bite me in the ass because I think Jacksonville should win this game, but I'm going to take Houston to keep their season alive.
Fair. Next up, we got the Cardinals coming off a big win on Monday Night Football against the Cowboys, where Marvin Harrison Jr. was absolutely stir-frying DeRon Bland all game long. Jacoby Brissett did really, really good, just overall in general. And it looks
Jacoby Myers is on the Jags too. Sorry, we didn't mention
the Jags. Yeah. That was a good trade. You're absolutely right. The Cardinals, but the Seahawks, on the other hand, put BTA on the Commanders. What's his name? Sam Darnold didn't miss the pass for the first half.
Yeah.
Jackson Smith had almost 100 yards, if not 100 yards plus in the first half. Give me the Seahawks, man. They're going to run away with the division this year.
Ooh, yeah. I like Seattle here too. I'm still not sold on the Cardinals. I think a lot of their games have been very close. I think all of their losses have been like within one score. So, I mean, they're a good team. They're going to keep it close, but I think Seattle pulls away. They've been playing a lot, really, really good football.
Yeah. Yep. Next up, we got the Lions at the Commanders. Both these teams in a bounce back win. The Commanders probably going to lose Jaden Daniels effectively for the season. I know they said the The little dislocated elbow was probably not as bad as they thought it was as far as ligament damage. Still, it looked absolutely disgusting when I watched it on TV. The Lions gagged that game against the Vikings, but I think they're going to bounce back and blow out the Commanders. Give me the Lions.
Yeah, I like the Lions too. Very unfortunate for the Commanders, but I think this is a year that you just reset. Jane Daniels is going to be out for a minute, and it doesn't look like this team is really clicking or have any momentum. So, yeah, I'll take the Lions here.
Yeah. Next up, we got the Rams at the Niners. The Niners beating the Giants. The Rams beating the bad Saints, but they come into San Fran. Both teams at 6 wins. The Niners have played one more, so they're sitting at 6-3. But give me the Rams. I just don't think the Niners will have the firepower on offense and defensively. I know Robert Saleh got them boys playing, but the Rams, that's a different animal. That's the best offense they've been playing in weeks in comparison to the Falcons and or the Giants. So give me the Rams.
Yeah, I love what the Rams are doing right now, and I love it for my fantasy team. I have Devontae Adams, and it just seems like every time the Rams get into the red zone, Matthew Stafford is looking Devontae Adams' way. So it was very nice. But yeah, I like the Rams here. 49ers have had just the worst injury luck I can think of like basically any team, maybe besides the Ravens, of like, bro, they just lose everyone, or they're losing someone every week. Last week it was Michael Williams. Obviously, they lose Bosa for the year. Receivers going down left and right. This is just, it's fucking brutal in San Francisco, dude.
Yeah.
But hey, shout out to them. They're still winning games. And I think this will be a very good one, too.
I think so, too. Afternoon game. Now we move on to the primetime games. We got the Steelers playing the Chargers in LA. Steelers coming off a really, really big win against the Colts. It's tough. These teams sitting at 3 losses. Steelers at 5-3. Chargers at 6-3, trying to create more gap between them and the Chiefs and create some separation between, or try to catch up to the Broncos as well. Chargers coming off a big win against the Titans, in which they probably should have lost, especially how poor Herbert and then we're playing early on in the game. I'm going to go Steelers. I think this is like one of those games that we talk about with Mike Tomlin. Oh, you got this win in LA. Chargers have some injuries on their offensive line. I'm gonna go Steelers this week.
Yeah, dude. Chargers losing Joe Alt last week. It just shows like the complete difference in that team when they have him out there. Steelers were just completely going crazy against Indy's offensive line last week too. So I'll take the Steelers too. It's really tough. Like there's a part of me that thinks they'll lose this game. It is prime time, and I think the Chargers can find a way to pull it out, but I'm with that logic of just Herbert's going to get demolished by that Steelers defense, but I guess we'll see.
Yeah, I guess we'll see. And then finally, our Monday night game, Packers against my two little brothers playing, man. The Eagles and the Packers. All that hate in one room. It's gonna be a win for me regardless. It's gonna be my win for me regardless. Whoever loses this, I'll be happy and I'll dog on them. I think this is a big game for the Packers, and I think this is a big game for the Eagles, right? The Eagles are going to see if they've truly bounced back from their early season struggles. They made the move for Jair Alexander, who is indeed washed. And hopefully he can help that secondary contribute anything. And for the Packers, man, Jalen Phillips, too, on the defensive end to help their pass rush. And for the Packers, man, it's time to play with the big boys. It's time to play with the big boys. This will, I think, they need this. They can't fall too far behind, especially with how consistent the NFC North has been so far this season. And having that bad loss to the Panthers at home, I think that's going to help them. I just don't believe in y'all's weapons, man. I really don't. I'm going to go Eagles in this.
Rightfully so, dude. Rightfully so. And I'm going to do something I don't do very often on this show, too. I'm picking against the Packers. I'm taking the Eagles to win on Monday Night Football. And I hate to do that, obviously, as a Packers fan, but being realistic, the Eagles are a very good football team. They're going to come into our trap and try to beat our ass. I think it'll be a good game. I think the Packers realize who they're playing, and they will play up to competition rather than down to competition like they normally do. And we'll see a good game. But I like the Eagles, and I want to see the Packers prove to me that they can win one of these games before I pick them this year.
Yeah. 100%. 100%. Well, that's going to be it for our NFL picks of the week. Hopefully you enjoyed our breakdown of the NFL trade deadline as well as our elite analysis of the NFL so far this season. Chris, your cock sources, my brother Gage. Thank you for another episode. You already know who it is. 007, Gage Sutton, and the young Rottweiler, Ethan Hamilton. Make sure to like and subscribe to our recording, and we'll catch you guys later. Peace.
Peace.